as we settle into our meditation period. I've mentioned several times that I consider one of the most important or fundamental instructions for meditation practice is to do the best we can to bring in as much ease and relaxation as our situation, as our bodies, as our minds will allow. Just in a gentle way, checking with ourselves to see if there are areas of stress or tension in the body, the heart, or the mind. Seeing if we might be able to shift the body if we need to help us relax. For the instructions this morning, rather than offer more techniques or methods to practice, rather than offering more things you might try to do and experiment with, I want to bring in a little emphasis on what is equally as important as ease and relaxation, maybe more, which is tending to the attitudes we bring in relationship to ourselves as we practice. How we hold what's going on, how we relate to not what we think is supposed to happen, but what actually is happening. The way instructions have been offered on this retreat has both a potential strength, but also a potential downside. The power, the strength in practicing in this way is that we retain all of the skillful means many of us may have learned for what we would, the normal ways insight and mindfulness meditation is often taught. We keep all of those tools, but by bringing in a little more emphasis along with those other aspects, a little more emphasis on the cultivating the samadhi, the concentration, that can help us strengthen that ability of mind to be with, to work with whatever's happening, and to help us learn to let go. So strengthening the samadhi does have a significant role in the practice. The potential trap is that we can think that being concentrated is better than not being concentrated, or that we're supposed to be concentrated, or that we judge ourselves or our practice if we're not able to become very concentrated. Being concentrated is no better at all than having an agitated mind. There's only what's actually happening any moment. The essence of the practice is the non-clinging with whatever is true and real. Concentration, having an undistracted mind, is merely an aid to help us see more clearly the places where we get caught, where we create suffering, and to help us see more clearly the way to let go of our suffering, to actually be able to do it better. But just as powerful as the teacher of being concentrated, the aid of being concentrated is to help us, working with a mind that's a difficult, a challenging mind is equally powerful of a teacher, maybe more. During the time, please set aside the word concentration. During the time when you're able to be more present, there's less struggle, regardless of the experience. We appreciate those times. Use them. When we're concentrated, if we're concentrated, we see the power of that clear mind. We appreciate it, we use it. During the times when the meditation is challenging, we don't want to miss the opportunity for growth that is being offered to us. If we can remember and not fall into the trap of beating ourselves up, judging our practice, judging our experience, thinking we can't do it. And that happens for all of us sometimes. So just to know that can happen. If we can remember that rather than falling into the reactivity, to just know, oh, suffering is here. And then perhaps being aware of, the specificity of what is actually happening. Oh, the judging mind, self-doubt. I'm in mental pain, emotional pain. Whatever it is, the body hurts, I can't be with it. If it's not overwhelming for us, and that's different, different strategy if it really is too much. But even if it's quite strong, if we can, without judging ourselves even about our ability to meet that, but if we can try out, well, can I be with this? What does it mean to let go and to let be, to bring a sense of allowing to my suffering, even if I can't see the way out? Maybe we ask ourselves, I don't know, can I be with this? Let me see. Let me just try it out. Sometimes we need to bring antidotes to our suffering, to bring down the intensity and to bring in something more pleasant, some love, and if we can find the way. But sometimes our task in the moment is to let that fire do its work on us. And it may feel like, for those of you who heard the talk a couple of days ago about the image I used about purifying gold, recognizing I don't know if literally this is what happens, but the image works. I'm going to repeat for those of you who didn't hear it. If there is, you put the gold in I guess it's the cauldron where it can be heated and melted, and we see the beauty, the shining gold. But because the gold has impurities, it's through the cooking, it's through the sitting down in meditation and just showing up to be present with ourselves. If we do nothing else, that's the essence of the practice. We heat the gold, and the impurities then can float to the surface where they can be skimmed off. But when those impurities have floated to the surface, nothing's gone wrong then. Nothing's going wrong in our practice when the difficulties arise in our minds, or any time in our normal daily lives when that happens. But what we see, we don't see the gold. We see it's kind of like a gooky, dark, it's not shining surface. And then we can skim that off now that it's visible, now that it's collected in one place. And then the gold can shine again. And we go through these cycles as then the next level of impurities can arise. And they're worked with properly. And then we see even more pure gold. And so I like that image because it's kind of like that. It can be like that. And whether you hold that attitude or not in your mind, you will go through cycles. I call them purity and purification. That's a little funny of a word because it doesn't always feel like purity, but the idea is we'll go through times of more suffering and less suffering. Sometimes we might actually have a sense of ease. There may be times when maybe on the whole retreat, we haven't found much relief. That, if that is true for you, you're not the only one. It can be like that. I've had plenty of experiences like that. And I acknowledge that it can wear us down. It's not always so easy. We do the best we can to relax with what's happening, find the times when we can, maybe to take a break, to resource ourselves, refresh ourselves, if we can, the best we can. And then maybe it's hard to come back, but I know many of you have kept showing up on this retreat. A few of you have spoken with me, and it's been hard. Maybe touching in with your good intention, your willingness to hang in there. That's a powerful, wholesome, positive, I would like to say beautiful quality of your own intention and your own being. Maybe just rest in your intention. So we have to find our own way. So the last piece, and then we'll go into silence for the rest of the sitting period. I'm just going to read something that I've mentioned and has been read innumerable times. Many of you have heard it, maybe hundreds of times, but I want to invite you, even if you've heard it 100 times and know it by heart, right now in the moment with what you are dealing with, see if you can let the words come in. And it's Rumi's famous poem, The Guest House. This being human is a guest house. Every morning, a new arrival. A joy, a depression, a meanness, some momentary awareness comes as an unexpected visitor. Welcome and entertain them all. Even if they are a crowd of sorrows who violently sweep your house and empty it of its furniture, still treat each guest honorably. He may be cleaning you out for some new delight. The dark thought, the shame, the malice. Meet them at the door laughing and invite them in. Be grateful for whatever comes because each has been sent as a guide from beyond. So just do the best you can. Be kind to yourself. We'll sit in silence for the rest of this period.